And again, particularly introduce Alan, who is our El Presidente, they're waving, and also Joe, who's our Vice President. Hi, Joe. Hi, Alan. Hope you're all safe and well. We've got Kirsty, we've got Johnny, and now Mr. Kim. If I can hand it over to whom?
I guess
so Alan,
yeah,
I'll let you take the lead.
There's so few people. I mean, I'm gonna forego the formality of the presentation. I just want to say hello to Mr. Kim. Good to see you again. It's been a while since when's the last time I saw you, which was on a bicycle somewhere.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So good to see you again. And we've had, this will be our third meeting today. We have already, already had our European friends and our North American friends, and you, of course, will be in the time frame that you're our last for us, at least early in the morning for you. But glad you could make it, and we're just to talk about a little bit about what's going on with Corfac. And Mr. Kim, you probably know, and Daniel, you both know what we're doing. One of the things that one of my big points of trying to push through Corfac over the last couple of years has been increasing the referrals and making us more money. The more referrals we make, the more valuable the Corfac International becomes. And I want to talk a little bit about that. And also Joe's going to talk about the other side of the coin, which is the value add. But briefly, I know that we have historically, Corfac has been more of a US-based tenant rep firm, if you will, representing tenants, mainly office and industrial. And that was, that's been, and over the years, that's changing, and it's certainly changing now, where obviously you've got, I'm the president and Joe's the vice president. Joe's a retail guy and I'm an investment sales guy. So that's, I think, where we're headed as a company or as a firm. I think those industries are going to grow within our organization. I think, and that's good. I think we'll have our base of tenants that we have, but it would be good to see, Mr. Kim, if you've got some investors looking to buy in America, you've got a lot of people to talk to. And Daniel, I mean, you don't have the language barrier in Australia. And so those people that want to invest in America at prices that are pretty attractive, unlike we'll say in London or other areas, US is a good environment for that. So one of the things that we're pushing is on the investment side is having, every couple months, just wants and halves of what we have as far as, investment sales. What are you looking for? What do you want? What do you have that might be interesting? And you might not have many people that want to come to America, but all it takes is one, and there you go. And that's kind of what we're pushing, at least. I think there's a slide in here that talks about the number of the dollars that go into America from Asia. And let's go to that one real quick.
Hey, Alan, I don't know whether you saw, but Sean Fa from our newest partner joined us.
Oh, no, I did not see that.
Am I pronouncing it correctly? Your name.
Sean Fa?
Hello. Yes, you are. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
To be able to join.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Alan Joel from Atlanta, and I'm the current president. And I'm just talking about how great it is to try to cross-pollinate, make some more deals between all of our organizations.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, I'm based in Singapore, so we have offices in Malaysia as well as in Thailand. Yeah. Good. Apologies, I was late. I was trying to get into the Zoom. Yeah.
Your English seems very good. Can we keep at a good pace, or?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Excellent. I'm Joe Latino. I'm your vice president. I'm from a town called Wilmington, Delaware, but I'll explain that when Alan turns it over to me, and I'll let Alan finish for now.
So I think the point is we feel like we will continue to do our bread and butter, which is our tenant, some of our user tenant rep, what we call tenant rep, which is basically owner occupied type of transactions. And sometimes they'll go outside of the country. So that's where opportunities arise there. But we feel like the real opportunity is the investment sales especially for international partners, because a lot of people want to have investments in America. It's a pretty safe area. It's a pretty stable area. And you've got, the nice thing is you have people all over this country that can help you find whatever you need and wherever you need. So if you have somebody that wants to be in San Francisco, TRI has got somebody that can find you a property that one of your investors may want. So at a cap rate that's not at a 4% cap rate either. So, these are opportunities that we all need to kind of push. And that's one of my mantras as far as this year is trying to push more referrals within our own network. And I know Joe's going to talk a little bit about what his the value add for Corfac. And Kim, you've probably heard a lot of this. I don't know, Daniel, if you have, but there are some perks to being a member of Corfac and what we do, because we're all in this we all do the similar things, and we all have different ways of doing it. We can learn from each other. So, Joe, I'll leave it up to you.
Excellent. And Christian, leave that back up for a second. Well, there you go. Again, Alan kind of touched base on this, and before I get into value add, I just kind of wanted to point out to you, this is information that I pulled off a website, and the website link is on the next slide. But as you can see, the Asian Pacific investment into direct investment in the United States is around $700 million annually, or $700 billion annually, which is substantial amount of money. And back into the U.S., it's approaching $1 trillion. My understanding is, and I'm not going to be claiming to be an expert in any of your markets, especially in the Asian markets currently, as far as the brokerage end of it. But I know that, Daniel, you and I have had this discussion about your fee basis over there, and I believe you've told me you'd be lucky to get 1 or 2% on.
Correct.
That would be an insult here in the U.S. Essentially our fees basically start at, around 3, 4, 5% on investment sales. And of course, depending upon the size, you might get into the 2% range if you're doing a multi-million dollar deal, but our fee schedules are a lot better. So if you have foreign investors that want to purchase within the United States, you're going to get a substantial fee compared to what you're used to in your home country. And another thing is our cap rates, which again, Alan kind of touched base on briefly. 4 cap in the U.S. is rare. It's extremely low. Even for the AAA rated tenants and product, we're starting at 5s for the most part, and you can get quality returns in the 6s and even up to the 7s on really good capital market products. So there's a lot of opportunity for both your investor and yourself as a broker to bring your clients to America. And I monitor a lot of the triple network or triple net offerings that come out. I sign up to a lot of different websites. If you are looking for a particular area or a particular product, if you just let me know, just hit me an email. Like I said, I go through probably 100 a day. Yeah, I don't have mine yet. And, if there's something you're specifically looking for, I'm happy to shoot it over to you. So that was kind of me, kind of wrapping up with what Alan had said. But as far as the value add, I kind of want to start with who I am. So my company is Patterson Woods Commercial Properties. We have been a member of Corfac International going on 20 years now. It dates back to 2000 when my founding partner, Duncan Patterson, was the president of the CCIM, and we've been a partner ever since. I believe, and I don't know if someone might correct me, but our office is probably in the smallest market represented within all the Corfac firms. In my MSA is about 725,000 people, and that's it. Again, we are very strategically located from a geographical standpoint. We're about 30 miles south of Philadelphia. We are about 2.25 hour drive to New York City, about an hour and 15 minutes to Baltimore, and about 2.5 hours to Washington. So we're stuck right in the middle. We're a big banking, and we're also, on the office side, banking drives a lot of our office. And on the industrial side, chemicals drive a lot of our chemical and a lot of distribution through the Port of Wilmington. We're the home of DuPont Company, which was one of the largest chemical manufacturers in the world. So, again, going back to when we joined Corfac, as Alan had mentioned to you, I'm more in a tertiary market. So I do industrial deals, I do office deals, just because I've been doing brokerage for 31 years and I have a lot of trusted clients. But my focus has always been retail and hospitality within retail. So when we first joined Corfac, essentially, my partners, told me we're doing this, and I said, okay, great. And what's in it for me? And they basically said nothing. Don't even worry about it, because knowing that I was a retail guy, they essentially said there's really no retail in Corfac. And I guess, as I mentioned, a previous executive director since retired, Tom Bennett, kind of saw that retail was really a big player in the CRE world, and kind of reached out to me, and we started driving a little bit of retail work through Corfac, and started with the ICSC, and obviously we took a little pause 2008, 2009 when when basically the market was in the tank, and to help with Jonathan and staff, we've kind of rekindled that relationship with the ICSC, and we prominently attend the Recon session in Las Vegas, which is about 40,000 retail brokers, developers, landlords, tenants from around the world. Every year we have a nice booth. We have a place for you to meet your clients, and that's one of the value adds that we have here at Corfac International. PR work, just kind of following the outline here. We've had a lot of luck with PR work. Through Corfac International, our marketing director has basically been educated on how to get the most out of the PR that we do. She's learned how to write the press releases. She's learned how to distribute them properly. And, in my world, PR is extremely important. For one, it's a lot more interesting to most people than an advertisement, and the price is right. It's free. So the more PR, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And again, through the resources, through Corfac, we've been able to really develop, a good public relations or a good PR release, a strategy that essentially was created through our relationship with Corfac. I would very much recommend that you reach out to Patricia. She is there for you. She is an employee of our organization. She is your Corfac PR director, and she will, or vendor in this case, and if you need any assistance with creating your own PR, or perhaps getting involved with some trade magazines or thought leader, you should reach out to Patricia, and she should reach out to you as well, and see if you can develop some strategies. But again, I'm just kind of following the thing as far as technology discounts. I believe that these products would probably, for the most part, be available to you as well. But we have implemented Build Out within our organization, which is a listing platform and a tracking platform, and marketing platform, essentially, which is very simplistic. Does a lot of the work for you. And then we've also implemented Delius recently, which is more of a back end program that has been very good for us in tracking commissions and keeping kind of track of our agents and billing and invoicing. We would have, probably not even been aware of these products had it been not through our relationship with Corfac, seeing demos at our conferences and taking advantage of the discounts that are available for us through the Corfac membership. And stop me anytime with any questions if you have. I'm just kind of going through this. Of course, best practices. We are your partners. We're not your competition. Trade secrets, best practices. you're going to find that, we're all more than willing to share and happy to do so with you. So, things you can get from the conference, or, if you even had a question about, how to do this, how to do that, it's going to be hard for you to find a Corfac member that's not going to be very, very willing to assist you in any of those, best practices, issues, or questions that you may have going forward. So again, I reach out. I ask you to reach out if you have any questions in any markets and any information that you need. One thing that, I believe that a lot of us have gotten away from, that I used to see a lot more prevalent, was people reaching out for contact information. We used to get almost an email a day from somebody asking, for example, does anyone have a relationship with General Motors? You can send this out very easily through the website. There's an email platform in there, and it's going to be even easier when we talk about the app. You'll be able to do it through the app once the app is launched, which is very close. And Christy will tell us more about that soon. But you're going to get responses, and you're going to get people that are willing to help. And you're not going to need to do that cold call, because somebody's going to have a relationship more than likely somewhere and be able to give you that person that they know or have done business with and can connect you. So if you're ever targeting a specific Fortune 500 company or other, I encourage you to reach out to the membership and ask them if anybody has a contact for you in moving forward.
Joe, can I ask a question if you don't mind?
Absolutely, I encourage it.
So you talk about investments, etc., in the States, and I've got clients of mine that are obviously looking to invest here. Some of them I know have investments in the US, and others might be prepared to sort of venture into that marketplace. Where do we start? Because whilst you say, there's cap rates at 5, 6, I mean, we can get that here, so to speak. They're going to be looking for something a bit better, obviously, like every other prudent investor. My question is, where do we start? Who do I talk to? Is it you? As an agency?
You know me, and you can certainly reach out to me at any time. I mean, I think it all goes down with, again, I specifically subscribe to a lot of different email lists, so I get an abundance of these properties across the country through my desk daily. If you give me some filters, and Alan will tell you, how many emails a day do I send you, Alan, with product in Atlanta? I mean, I probably send them 2 or 3 a day, right? Yeah. So essentially what happens is, you tell me what you're looking for, and I'm reading through my emails. I'm clicking it. When I see Atlanta, half the time I don't even read them. I just click forward, Alan, bang, I send it out and I delete it because I'm not interested in that product. But Alan,
can I get added to that list? Because look, I don't know what they want. For me, it's new territory for these guys. Absolutely. But if all of a sudden, and I'm going to forward it onto my database, and when I forward it on, someone might say, Dan, can you hook me up with that guy? I need to talk to Joe or Alan or somebody. Because we do send things out all the time regularly, and you might be getting it. I don't know who's on and who's not on from Corfac.
I have recently started getting all of yours, and I actually enjoy them.
You haven't bought anything yet?
No, but as you know, I have family there. I don't know if you recall that. I do.
No, I've forgotten.
I told you that. I have
in Queensland. Okay.
Family in Queensland. Absolutely. I'll tell you the story. But yes,
we're barred from going to Queensland at the moment. We're in Victoria, and we're completely barred from leaving the state. We're like lepers here at this point. So, but I'd love to start getting some information, which I can then forward on to my clients, and I think it'll help me and also the brand and Corfac particularly.
Here's where I would need to know a little bit more. Like, for example, with Alan, I see Atlanta, I send to Alan, Atlanta. I'm sending him stuff that's in his hometown. You're asking me for stuff over here. I mean, I'm not going to send you 100 emails a day. So you need to kind of give me an idea of, hey, if you find, an investment product in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, in New York, and again, nationwide, California. We like retail. We like office. We like government leases. We like apartments. Give me some parameters, rough parameters.
Sure.
And, happy to just flip stuff to you all day long. And then here's what happens. Let's say you find an investment, that you like that I sent you that's in, Texas. Well, then you're going to call the Texas broker. Hey, Joe flipped this to me. I'm out. I'm just doing it as a courtesy. I'm happy to do it. You find your boots on the ground there in Texas, and you hook up with that broker and potentially make a work out a deal right there. And the Texas broker's getting a deal. You're getting a deal. Everybody's making money, and that's what this is all about. So,
Daniel, I got a question for you. Have you signed into the interweb or the extranet for Corfac? In other words, do you have a specialty listed in the website?
I'm pretty sure I do. I have signed in and I have completed my information. As an agency, Australia's a very small marketplace. There's 25 million people in all of Australia. Victoria, where I live, has got 6 million people in total, of which there's probably 4 in the greater part of Melbourne. 4 million, that is. So that's where the majority of my work comes from. I've got some very wealthy clients, I suppose like everyone else does, who are looking to park money now more than ever, especially given the climate that we're in. And I don't think they're necessarily going to care. I could be wrong, whether it's in LA or whether it's in New York or whether it's in Philadelphia or otherwise. Right? And excuse my geography of the States is not fantastic. Please understand that. But as far as they're concerned, as long as like the fundamentals are right, and everything checks out, and the tenancy, the property, the values, etc., they're looking to park money.
So,
Daniel, to expand on that, I would say that the majority, and I can't say all, but I would say the majority of the Corfac firms do have a property management component as well. So if you buy in a market where there's a Corfac firm, more than likely and if they don't have it, I'm sure they'll find it for you. And if you need that service, that Corfac firm could find the property management that you would need to make sure that you've got your client covered, and you look like a hero,
Yeah.
So,
So Daniel, you definitely need to sign up. I don't think you're on our list or investment broker list.
Okay.
So, maybe Christy can help you. Christy, do you mind just checking into the system and making sure Daniel's on that list? So that, because you've not been on, and maybe the meetings are hard for you to make because we have our calls somewhere around 10 o'clock our time, which is too late for you. But
most of your calls have been around 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. I love you guys, but yeah, I need my sleep.
But we can certainly copy you on the information and all the list of properties that we've got for sale, and the haves and the wants. So if you have a have or a need, you can just say, okay, I've got an investor looking for to buy a retail center somewhere on the West Coast that is somewhere between $5 to $6 million, $10 million, and they don't want a lot of risk, but they want a good solid investment. Well, that's all I need. You fill that out, you fill the form out, then it goes to all the brokers in the West Coast, and all of a sudden you start getting emails from them going, hey, I've got this property, you might be interested in it. But you've got to be signed up. You're not signed up now, I know, because I have a list.
Looking at it.
I mean, I know your firm's on there and what you do, but there's specialties in each field. So if you're if you're a industrial guy, you should sign up on the industrial, because that's all industrial, and investments all about investments, retail about retail. So I would, and Kim and Chong, is it Chong? I can't remember.
It's Chun-Fa.
Chun-Fa. Same for you. I mean, I think the opportunities for the Asian markets are going to be on the investment sales. I really do. I think that's where you're going to look at. So if you have needs and you have somebody that wants to be in a certain market, it's easier. But if you're talking, Daniel, broad spectrum, I mean, you could be inundated with thousands of properties. So you really got to kind of figure out, okay, what do they like here in Australia? And then what can I figure out? Okay, this is what they like here. We can find something somewhere else in America that may make more sense.
Oh.
And Daniel, one other thought, something we implemented right after the conference in Philadelphia was and Joe mentioned it earlier, it's called Build Out Sync. And that's on the Corfac website. And that's not only available to members, but if you come in as a non-member, you can click on those. I believe there's about 2,500 listings on there now, and you can filter them out based on whatever your specialty you're interested in. So just another option.
No, so this is great, because what I think the first thing for me will be, I'm going to approach my clients and just see who might be interested in exploring, venturing into different marketplaces. It's going to give me something to do in terms of trying to add another string to my bow. But once I start getting 2 or 3 people that are interested in venturing into, your marketplace, then I'll start reaching out to yourselves and see who, you might be able to point me in the right direction, whether it be Alan or Joe or somebody, anybody. I think there's opportunities, I really do.
Well, Daniel, you've given me incentive to, we haven't had an investment meeting in a while. With the COVID situation, it's kind of slowed down. We try to do it every 2 months. We haven't had it in about 3 months, I think. I think we had one last February, or March, right as this thing started. So what I'll do is we'll remind me if you would, but we'll do another investment sales have and once. I know you can't make the call, but you can get the information and you can go through it, and then you can reach out to all the brokers, because all their emails are there, and you can just say, hey, tell me about this. And of course you can talk later at night if you need to.
Right.
I've got my email up on the other screen, and as we're sitting here, I just get an email. Here's a government office building leased to the county of San Bernardino, California. $6 million, 7.15% cap rate. Government lease. And I get literally 100 of these a day. So, there's opportunity within those, within the existing firms and the product that we have Corfac as brokers. But then again, if there's something specific you're looking for that you want to do, just through some of these subscriptions, I'm happy to share these with you, Dan, all day long.
What about?
So would you mind just flicking that one on for argument's sake? Because that's something I'm going to possibly use in my marketing to my database. Sure. Just to say, look, guys, there are opportunities here. This is the sort of thing you might be able to tap into. The price bracket's not going to scare them. The security is obviously first class. Then they're probably going to come back and say, yeah, I have a couple of questions. Yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not. What else have you got? Maybe I'm looking for shopping centres or otherwise. But it's a starting point. It's a conversation. It's an icebreaker.
And there's nothing to say, in your world, you might have somebody that wants to be closer to home, but not in Australia. So it could be in South Korea, could be in Singapore. So there you go. So that's what this conversation is all about.
Fantastic.
So Mr. Kim, have you, are there any opportunities in your world that you might think that might want to come to this part of the country, the world?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, maybe let me share a little bit. Some of the Corfac members have reached out to us directly, either by sharing some of their listings for sale, but so far, I think most of the listings are not what our clients are looking for. Because if it's a smaller ticket items and the US is quite far away, so most of them are looking for the bigger ticket items. The other thing is I think 2 of the members have also reached out to us when they read about the Singapore, our government-linked companies buying up data centers in the US, and they wanted to get into the relationship. So, we've been like on the edge kind of in terms of relationship and getting to know what other Corfac members are doing.
So what was the size of the properties that your investors, the minimum they want?
I can't recall offhand, but these are the REITs, the data center REITs, for instance, and the other one is our Capital Land. I think they're really huge in Singapore, the largest capitalized developer in Singapore, and they're huge in China as well. So they have they did an M&A with Ascendus, which is another government-linked companies. So they've been acquiring assets, I think, California, starting with California, and I think they bought into one of the US companies as well. So we kind of try to put that relationship together. But these were, individual shout outs to us.
So I just went into my property database and I searched for data centers, and I have 464 in my database.
Yeah, I think the challenge we face is that these larger developers, they already have an existing broker relationship. So we are reaching out to the senior people and passing that lead on to the Corfac member who approached us.
Excellent.
Yeah, but so far I think nothing concrete has come out, but it is a good first step.
Indeed it is. And I think the more you communicate and the more that, you attend the meetings or the Zoom calls and people get to know you and you start refining a little bit more exactly what a good, property would be for you or a good referral would be for you, people will be, even more that eager to get that information out to you.
Yeah, so. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Get out.
You need to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah.
I was going to say you need to kiss a lot of frogs. Probably 10 frogs, and then you get one prince.
Careful with your analogy there. I don't know how well they translate
it. Yeah.
So you mean to
you have to go through 10 deals, 10 opportunities before you get one deal. How about that?
Fine, she got it, man. I was just messing with you. So again, and I'll just get through this day, and I got to tell a couple stories too. But obviously, if you guys are trying to generate some younger brokers meet you, it's very important to me as we age to have a little legacy and maybe be able to get some younger brokers to do some of the heavy lifting down the road. So, we've been cultivating next gen brokers for quite some time. I mean, I'll admit some are successful, some are not. It's kind of similar to what Alan said. I don't necessarily have to kiss 10 frogs, but probably got to kiss 5 to get a good one. And a lot of support within our next gen. We even have a committee. They caucus together. They meet together. They've been doing online happy hours during COVID. And, again, they developed the relationships and we promoted a lot through the organization. And then the ICSC, I've already mentioned, the SIORs. I think you guys are familiar with the CCIMs, and I'm sure you're familiar with MIPIM and Expo Real as well. And we have a presence in all those. Which, again, is good for us and good for you. It helps get the name out, and it gives you a kind of a home base at these trade shows. And of course, we learned quickly how to do these Zoom calls on our own. Obviously, when COVID hit, we needed a way to stay in touch with everyone, and we developed this virtual education series. And HQ, as or I should say, Jonathan's staff has really taken this ball and run with it. And now we're going to, regardless of getting back to normal and getting back together physically for our conferences, I believe we're going to continue to offer some online virtual education, which will be also a benefit to all our Corfac members going forward. We found there's a lot of knowledge right within our organization. So we've got a lot of experts in a lot of different fields, in a lot of different, situations. And, it's just a matter of uncovering them. And again, they're all more than willing to share that with all the members, as we're all partners. So I guess I do like to tell my couple standard stories about some value add.
Why don't we talk about the app? Well, that may be interesting.
Actually, I want to tell the one story about the CBRE, because I know you guys mentioned, they have the relationships with the largers, and we all know who the big players are. They're global, you know, the CBREs, the JLLs, the Grubb and Ellis's of the world. I've successfully pitched product head to head with all of these brokers, and one specific product that I pitched that was a very lucrative. I was able to beat out essentially all three of them: Grubb and Ellis, JLL, and CBRE, with a big client, $7 billion international debt collecting company out of Carolina, not even in my market. And basically, as I went in as Corfac International. I did not go in as Patterson Woods. I went in as Corfac International. And headquarters worked with me in developing a pitch platform that was successful in this instance, and I continue to use it. Whenever we do something like that, we immediately make it available to all the members. So you can go find that pitch under the resources in the Corfac website, as well as many others, and it's there for you to download, use, modify. It's what we do for our members as part of sharing. So I did want to tell that story real briefly, and then yes, let's move on and talk about the app.
Thanks for sharing that, Joe. How can I find that deck on the resource?
Jonathan, where is it?
I know where it is. I can send it to you.
There you go.
Okay, great. Thanks. Thanks, Christy.
Yeah, no problem.
If you can add that too, if you can add me to it too, please, Christy.
I'll make a note to send it to everybody.
Thanks,
you.
Christy.
And just to piggyback on what Joe was saying, besides PowerPoint presentations, there's samples of business documents that people had put on there. So you might be looking for a sample lease agreement. We have all the recordings of the Zoom meetings that we've done for the last three and a half months on there, everywhere from an economist to talking about marketing strategies in these difficult times. So those are available. But I would encourage you, if you have time, take an hour and just kind of poke around that and see what's there. There's a lot of good stuff.
So what I did for Daniel Schindelman this morning, because I sent it to him already, I'll send you the deck, but then I'll also send you the link where it's found. So all of the resources and things are there so you can see.
Fantastic. Thanks, Christy.
Hey, Christy, copy me on that, and I'll forward all the people on this the last have and wants and list for them to look at, and then that way they'll have an idea of what we're talking about on the event.
You want the last
Right.
presentation?
I've got it. Just copy me on what you send them, so I have their email addresses handy. I'll just forward them to them.
Sure. So the app. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Corfac's been working on an app for about a year now, and we are in the final stages of finishing touches. There's one piece that the developer is finishing up. Then it's going to go to the executive committee for a final blessing and sign off. And then we're hoping to have it out to members. I don't like to put dates on things, but I would say hopefully sometime this summer, another month, 6 weeks. That's my plan. God willing. So, but the app really takes all of the tools from the Corfac website and puts them into an app. So you've got your search for your offices, the toolbox that we were just talking about is all available there. The email system that Joe and Alan have been talking about is there. We've got our transaction, both searching and inputting, a client platform. So all of the tools that people would typically be sitting and working at their computer is now available for your commute. If you're on when we have commutes again. So when you're on the train and you're scrolling, you can look up some clients, you could search for some companies. It's just, I think, a really good way to kind of keep Corfac more connected. So again, we're hoping that's going to roll out the next several weeks. And the tech committee has gone through it, staff has gone through it, and we're pretty excited about it.
As are we.
Yeah, very close. Well, I think we're pretty much done with this session. I'd love to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about, Kim or Tufa, but whatever, if you guys have some questions or if us, things that we can do better.
Let me throw my little conference pitch on here, Alan. So because Alan was unable to attend Dublin this year, and I know Dublin is still far away for you guys, I don't know if you plan on attending or plan on attending next year. I will be attending as president, and Alan will be coming as well. So you're going to have us both in Dublin next year, hopefully 1 year from today, I believe, plus or minus. And we'll be there representing Corfac in there to give some presentations and meet everyone in person. That'll be July. But prior to July, I believe the general consensus with all our international members is that if they're going to attend a stateside conference, that they're going to be coming to Las Vegas. The choices next year will be Las Vegas in the spring and Detroit in the fall. So we would love for all the international to focus on one of the conferences. If you come to both, that's fantastic. But, and I believe that Las Vegas is going to be the one. So again, I know it's not a small ride for any of you, but, we would love to have everyone in Las Vegas in person, hopefully, God willing, COVID willing, on March 3rd and 6th. And you'll get to see me inaugurated as president. So hope to see you guys there on that one. And then get Alan, you take it from there.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you at some point after my presidency. But these Zoom calls have actually been a blessing and a curse at the same time. So, and I'll look forward to seeing you at least get a copy on the investment information, because it seems like all of you are interested in that.
Does anybody have any questions?
No questions from me.
I just want to say thank you very much for organizing this. I know it's really late in your time, and thanks for reaching out to us in Asia. I really appreciate it.
It's cocktail time here.
Yeah. What time is it there? What time is it for all you guys?
Before 9 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
9 p.m.
Yeah, we're kind of 12 hours ahead of New York Eastern Standard Time.
We're still on Wednesday.
Wednesday for us.
Okay, we're Thursday. We're Thursday.
Wait. You can't throw that out there and expect me not to say something. But when in the 80s were you at UGA?
Oh, I was then. I just said something to Alan. I studied in the University of Georgia at Athens. I graduated in 1984.
Oh, no.
I mean, we were in the same. We had to have been in the same classes, because I was in real estate. I was in business too, the real estate class.
Oh wow, small world.
There you go.
Yeah, I lived a while in New York City, in Boston, and in California, so I'm a little bit familiar with the U.S.
I mean, see, this is why we have these meetings. I mean, that is unbelievable. That is such a small world. Well, great.
Yeah.
Up because you talk about small world. This is a great example of small world. So on our call this morning with Europe, I introduced myself and I told everybody where I was from. And during the conference, I got an email from Max Engelfeld in Germany. And he said, ironically enough, my family owns a shopping center 5 miles from your office.
Wow.
In Germany. This is from Germany, right? And actually, we had a conversation about it today. He called me today. I did some data research on it. They're not represented by a broker. They have a property management company who's doing a very bad job, and I'm probably going to turn it out to be something. I'm probably going to take it over for him and try to get something going. But he would have never known that had he not been on that call this morning, nor would have I, that they had an asset 5 miles from my office in Wilmington, Delaware.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
And I just want to say on behalf of Christy and I, thank you guys for being here. And if you never know where to turn within the organization of where to go, please contact us and we'll get you to the right people in the right places. And Christy, take the rest of the night off.
That's very kind of you.
And don't forget, y'all have another session tomorrow. Was it
Tomorrow morning.
We have a quick reminder. We do have, with this group, the same time tomorrow, a town hall session. We've got some different topics that we're going to be discussing. So some people were a little confused. They thought maybe they only attended one, but if you can, please attend tomorrow. We'll have some topics to discuss, and you won't see Alan and Joe, but Jonathan and I will be here. And
maybe we'll show up. You won't we'll just pop in. We'll zoom on in.
Yeah.
Block video.
I gotta take care of my dog fan. My dog, we're dogs. We're tight now. We're gonna be in Singapore. We're heading to Singapore. That's our next international meeting.
Yeah, that's great.
Guys, thank you. Thanks for organizing.
Thank you.
Good to catch up. Good to see everybody.
Good seeing you.
Bye-bye.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Stay healthy. Stay well.
Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.